You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm JOLIE Weekend. A Hazleton man's behind bars after he admitted to being involved in a weekend assault and robbery. Police were called to the rear of 545 Alter Street Saturday for a report of a man covered in blood. The victim claimed he was assaulted and robbed near Emerald Court and West 2nd Street. He told police he was attacked by 1 or 2 males, who were accompanied by a female. Officers reviewed video surveillance footage from the area and later made contact with the suspects at 7th and Alter Streets. Rasheen Williams admitted to the assault and was charged with robbery, simple assault, harassment, public drunkenness, and drug-related offenses. He was taken to Luzerne County Prison, unable to post $50,000 straight cash bail. Police arrested a Hazleton man Sunday night for allegedly possessing a large amount of marijuana. Police were investigating a parking complaint in the area of Fulton Court and East Diamond Avenue when they were approached by 21-year-old Livingston Fernandez Jimenez. Police observed a burnt marijuana cigarette in his hand, and a search revealed that he was in possession of a large amount of marijuana, alprazolam pills, and packaging materials. He was charged with possession with intent to deliver, possession of a controlled substance, and drug paraphernalia. He was taken to Luzerne County Prison for an arraignment. A wanted man is in custody, thanks to an anonymous tip. Hazleton police were advised that Matthew Bittner, who was wanted on an outstanding warrant in McAdoo, was staying at a residence on North Lee Court. Officers made contact with the residents, who told them Bittner didn't live there and was only visiting a friend. Officers were given permission to search the residence and found Bittner sleeping in a bedroom. He was taken into custody and found to be in possession of a Smith & Wesson revolver. He was charged with persons not to possess a firearm and was taken to prison on his outstanding bench warrant. A Wilkes-Barre man was arrested for allegedly shooting out windows of a vehicle on Sanborn Street last Friday. According to police, 23-year-old Tony Ransom shot out the windows of his ex-girlfriend's husband's minivan in retaliation for having his car smashed. When the husband allegedly smashed out a window of Ransom's vehicle, Ransom returned a short time later with a shotgun and was seen by several neighbors shooting out the windows. He was apprehended by police in Pittston and charged with reckless endangerment and possession of illegal firearms. Inmates at Schuylkill County Prison will be offered COVID-19 vaccinations. The prison's healthcare provider, Prime Care Medical Incorporated, will be offering the Johnson & Johnson vaccine to all inmates who want one. The prison currently has 0 COVID cases reported in either the staff or prison population. This will be the second round of vaccines provided by Prime Care. 55 inmates received the vaccines during the first round, and all prison employees have been vaccinated. An area health and beauty academy will be closing its doors at the end of the month. JOLIE Health and Beauty Academy, founded in 1976, will be closing its Hazleton location on July 30th, followed by its Wilkes-Barre location on August 9th. The reason for the closing hasn't been released at this time, but students can reach out to their campus directors for access to their records. JOLIE's New Jersey locations will also be permanently shutting down on July 30th. It's about time. There's a dedication ceremony coming up this weekend for a time capsule in honor of the Weatherly American Legion's 100th anniversary. And our Philip Kaufman has the story.
A collaboration with students at Weatherly Area School District, the American Legion Post 360, and the community work together to preserve our present for future generations.
We're going to have finally put the time capsule dedication together. It was put together in November 2019 with the COVID in between. So it's this Saturday, July 24th at 10 a.m. And we're inviting all the veterans in the community here and all the public.
The capsule was created to honor the 100th anniversary of the American Legion Post 360.
We're 100 years old as well, and so we were 1920 to 2020, so the COVID in between, but finally we're getting it in, and it's going to be an accomplishment we finally got done.
The concept for the capsule came from Weatherly High School history teacher Shane Moran.
It started in the middle of summer season. I thought of an idea to put together this, because the 100th anniversary only happens once, and putting together the time capsule and teaming up with the American Legion, my fellow teachers, the school district, and the community at large.
The borough dug the hole for the capsule, Griffin's funeral home provided the monument stone, and it was filled by students, Legion, and members of the community.
It was great to see how many people wanted to participate, no matter what they put in. Some of the items, in particular, that are kind of humorous even, are like future plans from the very, very small children in the school district and in the community that, what they hope to accomplish. Every day you're in school, you're not in school, every day of your life you're living through a moment of history, whether you realize it or not. And for our community, there's a lot of history that a lot of people don't realize. This is a moment of history that a lot of people could be a part of and are a part of, and in 50 years they'll be a part of it at it again.
So come join for the event on Saturday at 10 a.m. at the American Legion in Weatherly and be a part of history. Reporting in Weatherly with Wyln News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thank you, Phil. An important tool was created to help law enforcement agencies investigate potential employees who may have a history of misconduct. Wyln's JOLIE Stefanovic has the details.
The Wolf administration was joined by state police last week to announce the launch of a new database that will be used by law enforcement agencies when hiring police officers. It was created by the Municipal Police Officers Education and Training Commission.
That means that whenever an officer leaves a law enforcement agency for any reason, a form will be submitted to this database. And if any misconduct is present in that officer's record, that misconduct will be flagged. It'll be documented in the data. When law enforcement agencies hire new officers, they're going to be required to check that database for past separation records. And if they choose to hire someone who has had a record of past misconduct, the hiring agency must submit a form explaining the decision, and that hiring report will be subject to right to know.
The database was established as a result of Act 57 of 2020, which requires law enforcement agencies to conduct a thorough background investigation on anyone applying for positions in law enforcement.
The Act also requires law enforcement agencies to maintain separation records that include the reason or reasons for and circumstances surrounding a separation of service for a law enforcement officer, all criminal charges filed against a law enforcement officer, all civil and ethical complaints made against a law enforcement officer, and any final and binding disciplinary actions against a law enforcement officer.
The database will help eliminate problematic officers from being employed by law enforcement. State Attorney General Josh Shapiro says that this is a down payment on reform.
It's one of the many steps that we need to take to ensure justice and real safety for all Pennsylvanians. We need real accountability for officers who violate their duty to serve and protect.
The Pennsylvania Legislative Black Caucus began advocating for the database in 2019, following the fatal shooting of Antoine Rose by a newly sworn-in officer in East Pittsburgh.
This database is a step forward on all of the police reform efforts that my colleagues in the Pennsylvania Legislative Black Caucus and our Police Reform Working Group has been working on.
The database went into effect on July 14th and requires every police department throughout the state to participate. Reporting for Wyln News, I'm Julie Stefanovic.
Thank you, Julie. Coming up on Wyln News, COVID makes its rounds through Tokyo. Plus, who's Marty talking sports with this week? But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Greater Hazleton Mazda. It's the season of discovery, and we have inventory. 2021 Mazda CX-30s, got them. 2021 Mazda CX-5s, got them too. 2021 Mazda CX-9, got them. 2021 Mazda CX-30 for 0.9% for 63 months. 2021 Mazda CX-5, 0.9% financing for 63 months. Blaze Alexander Mazda Greater Hazleton has inventory. Check them out at blazemazdahazelton.com.
An alternate on the U.S. women's gymnastics team tested positive for COVID-19 during a training camp Sunday in Japan. According to USA Gymnastics, world champion Simone Biles was not affected, nor were any of the other favorites to win the team gold. But another alternate was placed in isolation because of contact tracing. The positive test was the latest in a growing line of athletes and others testing positive at the pandemic-delayed games, but the unnamed gymnast was the first American. The games are set to open this Friday with a state of emergency in force in Tokyo, meaning almost all venues will be without fans. And the women's gymnastics team will begin competing on Sunday. WYLN's all-time OT hero Marty Burns has the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off-season across our viewing area. Joe Flanagan's back this week to talk MLB, so let's talk sports. Here's part 1.
Let's hit on some of the topics in the first half that drew some interest to me. You can touch on them if you want, or you can totally avoid them and just leave me get in trouble for them. But June the 2nd, 10-game suspensions were let out to single-A baseball players, which included Hazleton area grad Sal Biazzi, for doctoring baseballs and getting caught with illegal substances, whether on their glove or on their hat and so on and so forth. You know Sal and his family much better than I do. But to me, Sal and this group were scapegoats because, and I don't want to take anything, I'm not saying that Sal is dumb or anything, but I can't imagine that a roving instructor, somebody that came down, might have said to these pitchers, hey, if you try this once in a while, or especially sunscreen, that I can't imagine Sal was experimenting in his hotel room after a game, seeing what he could do to help him with his pitches. And a funny thing is, I saw Roger Clemens recently came out and said, if you don't let the pitchers come out and use sunscreen, they'll get cancer and they'll be suing all of Major League Baseball. But honestly, to me, I think that group of A players were scapegoats for Major League Baseball to try to corral this.
I think you're exactly right, Marty. I think it was one of them things, hey, we're going to show everybody we mean business. And, was it just happenstance that night they, he had a pitch? And, especially a kid like Sal. I've seen him work out in the gym. I've seen the hard work he does. That he's not a cut corner guy. So yeah, they were just scapegoats of a bigger problem in Major League Baseball. But I heard a couple pitchers talking about, okay, it's okay now, but once it gets colder, if you're not going to give us anything, you're going to get that 89 mile an hour fastball that they can't control, and it's going to go up underneath someone's chin.
Coming up on McAdoo's News Choice, details on the Freeland Whippets Purse Bingo and Community and You. Plus, who's leading the way this week? Stay with us and find out.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
Hi, I'm Marty Burns, host of a new show here on WYLN, Let's Talk Sports. We're going to talk between our basketball and football seasons. We're going to talk to coaches, guests about past seasons, events coming up, different types of things sports related. It's all going to be here on Let's Talk Sports, and you'll be able to see it here on WYLN.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazelton, 570-454-7229.
WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Welcome to Community and You here on WYLN. I'm Julia Wiegand, and today we have a very special treat for you. Today we are with Krista from the Freeland Whippets. First of all, how are you, Krista?
Very good, thank you, and thank you so much for having us again.
Oh, not a problem. So today Krista is going to be giving us the details on the Freeland Whippets Purse Bingo, a long time coming. Now, Krista, tell us, I guess, just the when, the where, in person or virtual?
Yes. Well, this was originally supposed to be scheduled for the weekend of Memorial Day, but we got such an overwhelming response. A lot of people didn't want or a little apprehensive about doing it online or didn't have the availability for Zoom to do it online. So they were asking us if we were going to offer an in-person option. At the time, we were unsure if we'd be able to secure a venue with, the restrictions and everything, but still with COVID. So we decided to push it to August 7th. So that's when the new date is going to be. So now we are going to offer both options. So it will be either virtual, if for those out of the area perhaps, or if they're still not comfortable in going in crowds, we still have the virtual option. But then we also offer now an in-person option, and it's going to be at St. Michael's Recreation Center on 300 Fern Street in Freeland.
I'm glad that you guys finally got to schedule everything and find a venue and whatnot. Now we have 3 beautiful, beautiful bags in front of us right now. Tell us about the regular prizes and the special prizes.
Okay, so there's going to be 10 regular prizes, and this is a sample of one of the regular prizes. The regular prizes is one purse. So there's different styles. There's a little backpack version. There's totes. There's smaller versions. So there's a sampling to cover everybody's tastes and likes and colors. Then we have 4 special games, and the special games will include, that's the one up front, it will include a purse and a matching coordinating wallet/wristlet. Then there is also one door prize, which is actually a 3-piece ensemble. So it's a tote, a smaller bag, and a wristlet combined.
What is the situation with the cost to play the bingo, or how do tickets work?
Okay, well, to get a pack of the bingo cards for all 10 regular games, it's $25. If you wanted to get in on the 4 special games, they're $5 each. And then if you wanted to purchase additional regular bingo cards, they're $5 for additional packets. We also are going to have dabbers available for purchase if somebody doesn't have one to bring their own. And then, of course, dust off your little good luck charms and bring those too.
Now, how do people purchase the tickets?
Well, you could do it one of two ways. You could either go to our website, which is www.freelandwhippets.com, and click on the purse bingo, and all the information will be there to get the booklets ahead of time, to purchase them ahead of time. Or if you're unsure, you don't know if you're going to be able to make it, you could just purchase them at the door.
And if anybody has any questions or comments about the event, where should they be directed towards?
They could go to our website. There's information there. There's also contact information there, as well as phone numbers for board members. Contact any one of the board members, and then we'll be more than happy to answer any questions, give directions, anything like that as well.
And all of the proceeds from the bingo, where do they go towards? The Freeland Whippets?
Yes, we're a youth athletic association, football association, so we have not only flag football, we have tackle football and cheer. So it's for football is ages range from 5 to 11, and for cheer it's 5 to 14. So we do the games, competitions for the cheerleaders, so all the money raised for all of our fundraisers goes toward equipment and uniforms for the kids.
How big is this fundraiser compared to other fundraisers that you guys have?
Well, this is the second time we've done the bingo. We only did the bingo one other time. This would have been the third had not, COVID kind of put a damper on everything.
Oh, yeah.
But this is something for, everybody to get together from the community, to come out to see what we're about. To basically to have an afternoon out of fun, and then to win great prizes. And then, like I said, this way, if they're not maybe not familiar with the Whippets, they could see. Usually, we have the girls there, going around helping us out, so they'll get to meet the cheerleaders, some of the players, the board members, and they'll get to, if they have any questions about our organization, they'll get to ask us.
Well, thank you so much, Krista, for all the details on the purse bingo.
All right, and thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem. Always welcome here. And thank you, everybody watching out there. Remember, mark your calendars, Saturday, August 7th at 2 p.m. There is purse bingo. You see these lovely prizes in front of us, and there is so much more waiting. That's it for This Community and You. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander Greater Hazleton Mazda. It's the season of discovery, and we have inventory. 2021 Mazda CX-30s, got them. 2021 Mazda CX-5s, got them too. 2021 Mazda CX-9, got them. 2021 Mazda CX-30 for 0.9% for 63 months. 2021 Mazda CX-5, 0.9% financing for 63 months. Blaze Alexander Mazda Greater Hazleton has inventory. Check them out at blazemazdahazelton.com.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Gary Pern is leading the way again to kick off this week's series.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Learning of Our Leaders. This week we are joined by Mayor Cassatt's Executive Assistant at Hazleton City Hall, Gary Perna. Welcome.
Thank you.
And we'll start off today with the easy question. Growing up, life, what did you aspire to be? What did you see yourself growing up to as a kid?
So I always had this idea that I wanted to be three things in life. I was either going to be a teacher, I was either going to be a news reporter, or I was going to be a preacher. So they were the three things that, early in life I wasn't quite settled on. My grandmother often told me, she goes, well, if you become a preacher, you kind of be a teacher and, broadcaster, reporter. A
good news reporter.
Yeah, a good news reporter. So, early on, and then as I kind of went into high school, I focused more on journalism and was very interested. I wrote for the school newspaper. I was involved in this the yearbook. So that kind of led me into the path. I went to college, got my degree in mass media and communications technology, and spent just shy of 12 years in the broadcast world, 8.5 of them right here at Wyln.
And has your work that kind of transitioned towards this more political field? How did that happen?
So I always loved history, presidential history, the history of the United States, local history has always been a big part of me. I love reading history books and getting into how our area was built. So that kind of goes hand in hand with politics to an extent. So that kind of led me into my current job working with the city. As somebody who grew up right outside the city, Hazleton has kind of always been the big hometown. I grew up and was raised in Clares, which is just over the county line in Schuylkill County. But Hazleton was always the big city that we associated with. So being able to work for the city of Hazleton and help the residents and those who travel into the city for work or play, it was kind of one of those other dreams that come true, being able to help people, and that's what I always loved to do. Journalism, I always thought, we were conveying a message to get information out to everybody, to help people make informed decisions, and I kind of still do that in part of my responsibilities at the city.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.